Happy morning to one and all. Students, you already know we have started with lesson number 1, Laws of Motion from Science 1. In today's video, children, we shall be learning equation of motion using graphical method. So, let's begin. Children, Newton studied motion of an object and gave a set of 3 equations of motions. These relate the displacement, velocity, acceleration and time of an object moving along a straight line. So, Newton stated 3 equations of motion with respect to displacement, velocity, acceleration and time. Let us study each one of them. Suppose an object is in the motion along a straight line. Here our object is a football. Okay, so an object is in motion along a straight line with its initial velocity u. Okay, now it attains a final velocity. Let us denote this by v. And the time taken is t. Due to acceleration a, we have denoted acceleration by a, and displacement is s. Now children, the 3 equations of motion can be written as the first one, v is equal to u plus at. Now children, this equation is related to between velocity and time. So this equation is the relation between velocity and time. Now the second equation, s is equal to ut plus 1 upon 2 at square. Children, this equation, okay, this is the relation between displacement and time. And the third equation, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So this equation is the relation between displacement and velocity. Now children, let us try to obtain these equations by graphical method. Okay, let's start. Let us begin with equation describing the relation between velocity and time. Now children, look at this figure, this graph. It shows the change in velocity with the time of a uniformly accelerated object. On x-axis we have time and on y-axis we have velocity. So the object starts from the point D, which is seen in the graph, and with the velocity u. Now its velocity keeps increasing and after time t, it reaches the point B on the graph, as you can see children. Now children, the initial velocity of the object, it is denoted by u. So what is it? It is OD, right? That is the initial velocity. The final velocity of the object, we denote it by v. It is what? OC. Now children, time taken, that is t, it is OE. You can observe this on the graph which is shown on the screen. Now acceleration is change in velocity upon time, right? We know this. So acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity, the whole upon time. So what is our final velocity? It is OC minus initial velocity, that is OD, the whole upon t. So OC minus OD, what we get? It is CD. Observe this in the graph children. So therefore CD is equal to AT. Understood? Now children, if we draw a line parallel to y-axis passing through point B, so this will cross the x-axis in E. Yes, you can see this on your graph. Now draw a line parallel to x-axis and passing through D. So this will cross the line BE at A. Yes. Now from this graph, we can say that BE is equal to AB plus AE. Isn't it? Therefore, V is equal to CD plus OD. Now from where we got this CD? AB is equal to CD, right? And AE is equal to OD from the graph. So therefore, V is equal to AT plus U. Therefore, rearranging the term, we get the equation as V is equal to U plus AT. So this is the first equation of motion. Understood, children? Good. Moving to the next is equation describing the relation between displacement and time. Now we will see the relation between displacement and time. Children, let us suppose that an object in uniform acceleration, it is denoted by A, and it has covered the distance, that is S, within the time t. Now from the graph, children, we can say that the distance covered by the object during the time t, it is given by the area of quadrangle DOEB. So therefore S is what? Our distance is equals to area of quadrangle DOEB. Therefore is equal to area of rectangle DOEA plus area of triangle DAB, right? This quadrangle, it consists of a rectangle as well as a triangle. So now let us substitute them. S is equals to AE into OE plus what is area of triangle? 1 upon 2 into AB into DA, right? But we know that AE is equals to U and OE is equal to T and OE is also equal to DA, which is equal to T, right? And AB is equals to AT. AB is equal to CD, right? From equation 1. So therefore, children, S is equals to U into T plus 1 upon 2 into AT into T. Therefore, Newton's second equation of motion is S is equals to UT plus 1 upon 2 AT square. Now understood how this equation has derived? Good. Children, now we will see equation describing the relation between displacement and velocity. Now children, look at this graph. From this graph, we can determine the distance covered by an object in time t, okay, from the area of a quadrangle DOEB. Now look carefully this quadrangle DOEB. It is a trapezium, isn't it? So children, we can use the formula for its area. Okay, we can use the formula for what? Area of a trapezium. So therefore, S is equals to area of trapezium DOEB. Therefore, S is equals to 1 upon 2 into sum of the lengths of parallel sides into distance between the parallel side. Right? Let us substitute now. S is equals to 1 upon 2 into OD plus BE into OE. But OD is what? U. BE is V and OE is T. Now let us substitute this variables. So S is equals to 1 upon 2 into U plus V the whole into T. But we also know A is equals to V minus U upon T. That is for, this formula is for acceleration. So rearranging the terms, we get T is equals to V minus U the whole upon A. Now children, S is equals to 1 upon 2 into U plus V the whole into V minus U the whole upon A. After calculating, what we get? S is equals to V plus U into V minus U upon 2A. Then if we bring this 2A to the left hand side, we get 2AS is equals to V plus U into V minus U. If we open this bracket, we will get V square minus U square, right? Now let us rearrange the terms. Therefore, we get V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. So children, this equation is Newton's third equation of motion. Understood children? Moving to the next topic, let us see uniform circular motion. Now children, observe this figure which you can see here. Observe the tip of the second hand of a clock. Okay, observe the second hand of the clock. What can you say about its velocity and speed? Now children, after observing the tip of the second hand of a clock, we can say that the speed of the tip is constant. Yes, but what is happening? The direction of its displacement, and therefore its velocity is constantly changing. Yes, because the displacement is changing the direction, therefore velocity is constantly changing. As the tip is moving along the circular path, right? Its motion is called uniform circular motion. Understood children? Why we say it's uniform circular motion? Because the tip is constant, but the direction of its displacement and the velocity is constantly changing. The tip is moving along a circular path. So its motion is called uniform circular motion. Now children, let's try out an activity. Draw a rectangular path. Okay, rectangular path as shown here. Place the tip of your pencil on the middle of any side of the square path and trace the path. Okay, that means just go along the sides of that square. Now, note how many times you have to change the direction while tracing the complete path. Now children, we will repeat this action for a pentagonal, hexagonal, octagonal path and note the number of times we have to change the direction. Now what happens? If you increase the number of sides of a polygon and make it infinite, so how many times you will have to change the direction? And what will be the shape of the path? Okay. Now, the answer to these questions are, this shows that As we increase the number of sides, we have to keep changing direction more and more times, right? And when we increase the number of sides to infinity, so children, that the polygon becomes a circle, right? If we keep on increasing the number of sides of the polygon, so we have to change direction more and more times, and then this polygon becomes a circle. Now look at this picture, children. There is a bus moving. Okay, so here when an object is moving with a constant speed and it is moving along a circular path, so the change in velocity is only due to change in direction. Yes, hence it is accelerated motion. And when an object moves with constant speed along a circular path, so children, this motion is called as uniform circular motion. For example, children, the motion of a stone in a sling, okay, as you can observe here on your screen, or else that of any point on a bicycle wheel when they are in uniform motion. So, the motion of a bicycle wheel is said to have uniform circular motion. I hope children you understood this. Good. Now, if an object it is moving along a circular path, okay, so it must be having a radius. So let us take the radius r and the time taken is t to come back to its starting position. So its speed can be determined using the formula. Speed is equal to circumference upon time. Why we are taking circumference? Because it is a circular path. So speed, that is v, is equals to 2 pi r upon t. 2 pi r is the formula for circumference. So v is equals to 2 pi r upon t, where r is the radius of the circle. Understood, children? Now children, using this concept, let us determine the direction of velocity in uniform circular motion. Let's understand this by doing an activity. Take a circular disc, okay, and put a 5 rupee coin at a point along its edge. Now children, make it move around its axis by putting a pin through it. So what will happen then? When the disc is moved at a higher speed, the coin will be thrown off, right? Now we need to note the direction in which it is thrown off. Then repeat the action placing the coin at different points along the edge of that circular disc and observe the direction in which the coin is thrown off. Okay. Now by observing this picture on your screen, children, we can say that the coin will be thrown off in the direction of the tangent, which is perpendicular to the radius of disc. We have all studied maths and we know what is a circle and a tangent, right? So we can observe that the coin will be thrown off in the direction of the tangent, which is perpendicular to the radius of that disc. Now thus the direction in which it gets thrown off, it depends on what? It depends on its position at the moment of getting thrown off. So it means that as the coin moves along a circular path, the direction of its motion is changing at every point. Got it? The coin moves along a circular path. The direction of its motion is changing at every point. Understood, children? With this, children, we have come to an end of today's lecture. So, what we have learned today? We have learned a set of 3 equations of motion given by Newton, and we have also learned uniform circular motion. I hope, children, everyone has understood today's topic. After watching this video, children, please read the lesson also. We shall see you in the next video. Till then, take care, children. Thank you.